on your journey, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs. A lot of times things are going to be tough, especially in the beginning. Things are going to be tough. You're not going to know what you're doing. You're going to want to give up. You're going to have a lot of self-doubt, a lot of negative self-talk. That's the time where you got to really buckle down and just go through it. The only way to get past that is to go through it. If you can't go through it, go under it. If you can't go under it, go over it. But you got to get to the other side some type of way. And eventually, at certain points, you're going to have easier times. Things are going to let up a little bit. You're going to have like little relief moments, you know, when things are going to seem like, yeah, this is actually working. I'm actually getting somewhere. Things are getting easier. That is not the time for you to let up. That's not the time for you to go back to being comfortable and being complacent and just losing the ball or taking your eye off the ball. That's the time where you got to take advantage. That is the time where you really like put your foot on the gas, because now you have opportunity. You have an opportunity now, and it's easy to, you've been waiting for an easy period or just a period of tranquility for so long that when it happens, you just want to sit and relax and like bask in the moment. And that's not what you're supposed to do. That's not the smart thing to do, because eventually, pretty soon, it's going to get back tough. If you didn't get to a certain actual goal, if you didn't crush a goal, eventually it's going to get back hard again before you get there. And you're going to think back like, damn, now you're going to want to go hard again when when you had opportunity to go hard the entire time. You be consistent, you know. At my job right now, for example, like I've been there for a couple months now, and only within the past couple of weeks have I actually been understanding what I'm doing. I've been struggling for months with this job because it's a fairly new job, and it's like I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally ready to quit from the beginning, but you know, getting paid, I'm getting what I'm getting paid. I just had to make it through. And now I'm getting to a point where it's like I'm understanding certain things are clicking now, and I'm getting to a point where, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing, and it's getting easier and it's getting more comfortable. And that, I had to remind myself, like, yeah, this job is not the goal. Like, I'm not gonna just chill and relax and let time pass here and just take my eye off the ball and start being frivolous, spending my money and stuff, and like just having way too much fun because now I'm getting comfortable. No, this is the time where I gotta double down on my goals, double down on actions that's gonna take me to my goal. This is not the time to relax and be like, yeah, thank God it's getting easier. Yeah, thanks God it's getting easier, but you thank God it's getting easier by continuing to put your foot on the gas. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I've had moments in the past where this has happened and I took my foot off the gas, and only thing that happened was time passing. The only thing that happened was time passed. So yeah, when things get easier, put your foot on that gas, because you got to realize that your goals are way bigger than where you actually are. You're supposed to set goals that's literally unrealistic goals. If you have an actual way, when you set a goal, it's supposed to be so unrealistic and so far ahead of you that you don't even know how you're going to actually do it. If you know exactly how you're going to actually accomplish something at the beginning of doing it, then you didn't set a goal high enough. You didn't set it high enough, because that means that you may have done something like that before. And yeah, it's just not big enough. It's not going to rattle your soul enough. You're going to have to pull from a place that you've never been. You have to become a person you've never been. If your goal is not going to make you become a different person, then it's not big enough. And that's what it is. So, set really high goals. If you set a low enough goal, chances are you're going to accomplish it really fast, and then you're going to feel like you got somewhere. Then you're going to start being complacent. You're going to start being frivolous. You're going to start just doing things you're not supposed to do. You're going to start being wasteful. Go back to your vices. Go back to wasting time. Go back to people that you have no business being around, or no business being around them for too long, at least. Keep your foot on the gas. Let's keep it going, write your story and make it a good one. Make it a really good one. I'm at the park right now. I'm about to get this workout in. I just had a long week at work, like I do every week. But I have a very physical job, and I still come to this park several times a week after work, and I get my workout in. I just get it in. You have to do the steps that's required to get to your goal. Once you set a goal, you don't even gotta, you lock in on the goal, but you lock in on the steps even more than the actual goal. Like, do both. Lock in on those steps, because if you do the steps consistently and to the best of your abilities, it's like math. It's like a law. It's impossible not to eventually get to your goals. It's impossible. So let's keep it going. Let's lock and load it and get to it. We have to. It's funny, as human beings, we're the only creatures who have to create our reality. We have to create our environment to suit us, right? Every other animal in nature, their environment is already there for them. Their environment is there, and they go and they fit into their environment. We, as esoteric as spiritual beings on this planet, we have to set our environment to us, and we have the opportunity, but we have to lock in. We create our reality. We create our environment. If you're in a reality and an environment that you don't want to be in, realize that you can change it. That's the first step, is awareness. Realize that it's where you're at right now is a result of your past actions, your past thoughts. First of all, your past thoughts, your past emotions, and your past actions, your past vibration, and that what leads to where you at right now. So going forward, you're aware. You change your thoughts, change your actions, change your vibration, change your frequency, and you will change your reality. That's how we control our reality. We have that opportunity. A lot of times doubt is going to happen. Doubts and fear is the biggest hindrance of mankind. And, society and just everything that's trying to keep us where we are and trying to hinder us from growing, that's their main weapon against us, is just keep us in the perpetual state of fear and anxiety. Fear turns to anxiety. And once you have, what eliminates fear really fast is first understanding, and second action. And once you understand what you are, and once you understand that there is a higher power, and you're a part of that, and you're literally the embodiment of that, and you can do whatever you really want. And if you don't hold on to that fear and those negative thoughts, you can actually, it doesn't matter what happens. This is why a lot of people drift to religion, because it's a way how to take everything off of you. You take all the fear, and you can do this without religion. I realize that, but it's just an easier way. It's an easier and a more believable way how to just release fear, and it's just to have confidence. You put everything that you're feeling that's negative, and you just put it on God. You said, and you really believe that, like, you really just let it go, like, yo, whatever happens, happens. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep my positive thoughts and do what I gotta do, and whatever happens, it's in God's hands. And 9 times out of 10, it works out. It really works out. But you can't just say, I'm gonna put it in God's hands and then not do your part. Because one thing for sure, God's gonna do his part. You can't do God's part, and God is not gonna do your part. God's gonna do his part. You gotta do your part. And when that combines, that's how you do it. That's how you get everything you want. See, the thing is, you have to accept there's no spiritual being or entity that could enter your life without your permission. Not even God. If you don't allow it God and a higher source or the universe or whatever it is if you don't give it that permission by just if you're releasing all your fear and anxiety, you're giving God or whatever you believe in that permission to take control of whatever part they're supposed to do in your life. And then you do your part, and it always works out. So that's what it is. That fear, that anxiety, that doubt, that's not it. You need to have confidence. You need to have that knowing. You need to have those actions. You can literally, it's so funny, like, you can literally talk to the cells of your body, the atoms of your body, and tell them what to do. Just like how, and they respond based off of your thoughts, your actions the same way. Just like how you tell your arm, your hands, your fingers to move, you tell every essence of your being those same things on a microscopic level. And you can match yourself to the reality you want. Everything is moving, and so are you. And there are things that your body is magnetic. Your cells are magnetic. And you can magnetize things around you to be pulled towards you based off of your thoughts that magnetize your cells that will match the things that you want in your life. It's crazy. Like, we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of just human capabilities. It is so much that we can do that we're just unaware of, but you can never become aware of it if you're in a perpetual state of fear and anxiety and doubt. You really can't. It's like it just stops working. Actually, it doesn't even stop working. It just works against you and out of your favor, because this power we have is always working. And if you're not using it to go forward, it's automatically used against you to go backwards. If you have fear, doubt, anxiety, you're attracting stuff like that to you. It doesn't not attract good things. It starts to attract bad things. It's always working. You can't turn it off. So you take control of it. You take control of it, and you constantly remind yourself. And it doesn't matter what's happening in your reality. You don't let your reality determine what goes on inside. Your inside determines your reality on the outside. And there's a delay. There's a delay. You're not going to see it right away. The only thing that we're uncertain of is the time and the gap in between. That's one thing that we don't know about. I do know it's the same law, and we can amplify the time based on just the intensity of our emotions. We could, but we don't know the time exactly. But we can amplify the time and the speed that we shift things around us based off just the intensity of our emotions. But there's no finite, definite time that we could actually like pinpoint. We don't really know, but just have faith that it will happen, and it will happen faster. And that's what it is. So let's lock in. Let's get loaded. Let's see exactly what we want, who we want to be, what we want around us. Believe it and work towards it every day. Every day. Take the sacrifices. You can't live two lives at once. Because once you go back to another life, you're automatically retracting. So if you want to get there faster, you stay locked in longer. And I really believe that the times where everyone else is not focused, if you're focused during the times that everyone else is not focused, like for instance the weekend, I think that those days count more. Those days count more to get you where you want faster, because if God is giving out a certain amount of blessings each day for hard work, and everybody's working hard during the week, on the weekends, he has extra blessings to give. To whoever's working on the weekends, yeah, you're getting extra blessings now, because not everybody was working. Now there's energy could be more concentrated. So let's lock in. Let's get it loaded. I'm excited. Talking about this stuff gets me energized. It gets me invigorated. It helps me to start visualizing what I want more and the people I'm helping. because we need this information. Everybody wants to get to a certain point, and how you get to where you want to go is helping people get to where they want to go. That's how you multiply. You multiply in an exponential way, getting to your goals. See, if you help yourself only, you're gonna be slow crawling your way to your goals. But when you start helping others, yeah, you start to fly. You start to fly to your goals. You start to fly to your goals. So that's what it is. I'm excited. Let's get it going. Let's lock in and put that work in. Let's put that work in. That's it. Let's get to it, man. I love y'all. We're gonna get to it. We're already there. Let's go. Peace. I'm about to get this workout in.